Live every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Think about it. We'll get into everything that we're going to get into as we go along, but I got to rant real quick.
But why would you throw out an inexperienced pitcher in a game you're still close in? And I don't care what the record is, you show up for a fucking rivalry game. But he's actually talking to him constantly. That is a sign of a really, really good coach.
It's the ToddFox postgame podcast with your host, ToddFox.
Because the only thing I want to yell is, fuck! Hey, welcome into the ToddFox postgame show on the Heedy Baseball Network. Welcome into another victory postgame, which, again, this can be addicting if they do this on the often because, man, what a game. Well, so much to dive into. We're going to talk about every bit of the game and break it down as we get along because this game was a roller coaster game. We've had a few of these this year. This one was up and down. You mostly felt down towards the mid-innings. But before I get into that, 714 tickets, 714 tickets, 714 tickets gives you the opportunity to by putting HITI in the promo code to get 10% off of each purchase you make and additional 5% back on every purchase there going forward, plus enters you into win a free jersey courtesy of Halos in the Infield for next month, which will actually for this month, May. At the end of the month, we'll give it away. We're going to give away a jersey tomorrow via Halos in the Infield and also 714 tickets. So with that being said, let's get into it real quick and let's get started. Jake, a.k.a. Mike Lamb, with a big home run tonight, but that's not how the game started. The Cardinals got a solo blast off of Shohei Ohtani in the first inning. It looked like, okay, the Angels are down. Maybe he doesn't have his best stuff here, but it was the home run by Nolan Gorman in the first inning. Brandon Drury would then tie it up immediately in the top of the second to make it 1-1. That pitch was up high in the zone, a typical pitch you don't want your batter to swing at, but for whatever reason, it was in his hitting zone, and he just pumped it into the left field wall. It was then 2-1 when Shohei Ohtani singled on a ground ball to score that got by Nut Bar. And how about Chad Wallach getting a couple hits? He would come around and score. That would make it 2-1. Hunter Renfroe would then single on an infield single that Aaron Donald, it was just a tough play. He couldn't make the throw to first. It was 3-1. Then Wilson Contreras came up with a double off of Shohei Ohtani to drive in a run after a back-to-back double because Aaron Donald had doubled to get in scoring position. And then Contreras got him in, and it was 3-2. But then Dylan Carlson hitting his first home run of the year. It was 4-3. And this is all while we're talking about the scoring, forgetting that Shohei Ohtani threw about 100 pitches through 5 innings and had 13 strikeouts, tying a career high. I mean, the dude was on. They just touched him up a couple times. And other than that, I mean, he was striking out guys. His fastball went up to anywhere from 100 to 102. He was looking damn near unhittable. Now, after that inning where they scored the runs there in the fourth inning, the Angels went into quiet mode. They got a couple guys on, didn't really threaten too much, and they just did what they've been doing all season where they shut the offense down for a little bit, and it just turns into let's just wait and see and maybe someone can bail us out type offense. And that's how it was for a little bit. It was a little frustrating as Angel fans because you're watching, you're like, damn, they need to score. We need some home runs, or we need a single or double. Someone needs to come through, and nobody came through. And Shohei pitched those 5 innings, looked really good. And you're thinking, damn, they're going to waste an opportunity here. And when he got into the 8th inning and look, through the game, I was looking at Mike Trout saying, damn, dude, Mike, you got to come up. You got to do something. He just kept whiffing, kept grounding out easily, almost hitting into 2 double plays. I'm like, dude, he just doesn't have it again tonight. He's not clutch. But, like I've said over and over and over when we've been battered about this particular subject for 2 weeks, I don't care if Trout hits a home run in the first inning. That's helping the club, yes, but it's not clutch. You need to do it when your back's against the wall. You need to do it when there's a chance to tie or take the lead. And Jake, Mike, whatever you want to call him, Lamb, hit a huge pinch hit home run, a pitch down and inside, and he raked it, and he hit it over, I think, one of the bullpens, and it tied it up. And you know what? It's inspiration, because the next batter, Renifo, would get on base, and then Trout did his thing, man. Or not, actually, he didn't get on base. It was Trout did his thing, and all of a sudden you got a 5-4 game, and then the Angels would tack on an important insurance run. Tony Two Bags, Tony Two Airs, whatever you want to call him, came up and got a big single to score Ohtani after Ohtani doubled. Ohtani had a great game between, on the mound and then in the box. So you look at the stats, the Angels had 6 runs, 13 hits, 1 error, 4 runs, 7 hits for the Cardinals. This was a big win because, again, this isn't like the freaking 92 Yankees or 93 Yankees. So you're not going to sit there and say, oh, man, we battled with one hell of a team. But it's still the St. Louis Cardinals, number 1. Number 2, you don't want to lose to a 10-20 team, because then they would go to 11-20, and the Angels would have fell back to 15 and or 16-15. But the fact that you go to 17-14 is a huge confidence booster, because, look, if Griffin Canning can give you something tomorrow and you can hold another L up on the freaking Cardinals tomorrow and pull out a sweep, 4 out of 6 is not bad on a road trip, and you come home with some momentum. So this was a huge victory, and the fact that, again, they looked dead for about, 5 frames, they did nothing. 5 frames, the Angels did not even really threaten until that 9th inning, and against the closer who had a 0 ERA in Gallegos. So let's give up praise where the praise is due, and I think we're going to have to give it to 2 players. If you all want to know who the John Stamos Award for Excellence, because John Stamos is such a beautiful human being, you have to give out an award in his name. Well, let's give out that award, and I think it's going to go to 2 players tonight. Actually, you know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm going to give it to 3. It's going to have to, the Golden Stamos is going to go to 3 people. Number 1, it's going to go to Shohei Ohtani for 13 strikeouts. Ohtani also, let's see his numbers tonight officially. Shohei, 5 innings pitched, 4 runs allowed, 5 hits, but 1 walk, 13 strikeouts. His ERA is at 2.54. And then we're going to give it to him for batting as well. Ohtani, 3 hits tonight, including he did strike out, or he did leave 2 men on base, but he had a big RBI, 3 hits, 3 for 5, raising his average to 307. Then we're also going to give it to Mike Lamb. Mike Lamb with one hell of a pinch hit home run right there. So that home run tied the game at 4. And then our third winner of the Stamos, they're all going to share one big Stamos tonight, and that's going to be Mike freaking Trout. Mike Trout got it going. Mike Nelson Trout. Finally a clutch home run when we needed it, and he came through. And that's what we want. It's not like I hate the guy. Everyone says, oh, you kind of hate the guy. No, I want him to succeed, because, again, how he rolls is how we roll. How Ohtani rolls is how we roll. If those 2 guys are clicking, the rest of the team, although, again, you look up and down the lineup, Rendon was kind of quiet till he got that hit late. Renfroe only had 1 hit. That was the infield single. Drury only had the 1 hit. Ward had 2 hits, but Urshela was quiet tonight. Wallach got the 1 hit. So when the rest of the lineup isn't really tearing it up, and by the way, Neto got hit again, but this one was a bunt, so it was not really a hit by pitch. His thumb will be okay. It's just a contusion, so he should be day-to-day. I'll be surprised if he plays tomorrow. Likely Renifo will play, and then hopefully we'll see him playing back here in Anaheim. But that's what it was, man. Big clutch hits. This is what you want from your number 1 player. If Trout is still your number 1 player, you want him to be Captain Clutch, coming through in the clutch. That is clutch. Late in the fucking game is clutch. I don't want to hear anything else different than what that is right there, which is clutch in the big moment right there. So, let's see. Getting back to it real quick, and I want to mention, too, the bullpen. Unsung heroes for tonight. And this is what you want from this team. This is now 14 straight innings without allowing a run by the Angels bullpen. Yes, your blowpen, which a lot of you guys like to call it, and we've called it that as well at times, but the blowpen is now 14 straight innings without allowing a run. 2 innings for Silseth, perfect baseball, 6 groundouts. Ryan Tepera pitched he did allow 2 hits and made it a little dicey. They had second and third there in the 8th inning, but he held on. He actually gets the win in relief. He had 2 strikeouts. And Estevez just looked unhittable in the 9th inning. I mean, those 2 quick strikeouts, the fastball had hella movement, and they were lucky to hit that fly ball, but that's his 7th save. He's now 7 for 7 in saves. It looks like because of the injury to Quijada today, which he's got the Tommy John upcoming, Estevez is your freaking closer from now on, it looks like. Over to now the Nacho Night. Who gets Nacho Night? Because we could have picked maybe a couple guys from the Angels, maybe or one guy, but I think I'm going to have to give it to one guy in particular for the Cardinals, and it shouldn't be too hard to figure out.
All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole, all the beef and jalapeno and the sour cream, all the nachos.
Well, Gallegos for the Cardinals. He gets the loss, his first blown save of the year, first runs given up of the year. He's been one of the only bright spots in that Cardinals bullpen, and he got lit up tonight. 3 runs on 4 hits, including the 2 big home runs in an innings pitched right there. He did give up those 2 home runs. That was, and his raised his ERA to 3.60. So again, he had no ERA, and the Angels touched him up for 3 in that 9th inning to make it 6-4 and get a huge W. Like I said, man, this gives us all the momentum to go in for a first sweep in a long time. Get that sweep here in St. Louis, come home, and hopefully you're 4 games over facing Texas, maybe staring down first place possibly. Who knows? Because Houston lost today. So did Texas. The Angels will be back about a game and a half on Texas moving into that series, moving into tomorrow's game. So we're going to get to all your comments here. I get to everyone's comments, so if you're just listening for the first time, you're watching, if you hang on to the end of the show, we take phone calls, but I'm going to interact with your comments as we move forward. So Dan says technical difficulties again. Yes, a little bit in the beginning. This team is giving me hope, Vetter says. Jason says, how about Silseth? Boy, I'm telling you, they were swinging over those pitches, and I could just, again, I was the first one to criticize what they've done. And I get it. It's a small sample size, but I really didn't like the fact that they stretched out Silseth and then put him back in the bullpen instead of having him as a starter. I would have loved to see him replace, Suarez, but Suarez seems to have bought himself a couple more starts. So that means Silseth is going to remain in the bullpen unless there's an injury. So, but right now, he's perfect out of the bullpen. So I'm eating crow. I don't think Cardinals fans know how hyped up or what they were doing. Their boos got me fired up, cursing at my TV. I can't imagine how our boys feel. No kidding. That is a huge shot in the ass right there for the Angels in a good way. Hope never heard of hope. What is hope? Josh says. Nevin looked like a genius pinch hitting for Lamb. Light that baby up. He sure did. And then Infinite One says, well, we won. And then also James Malou checking in with balls, and Giovanni Gallego. Yeah, that dude, he really crapped the bed tonight, and there was a lot of this out there. There was a lot of...
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
And John Stamos. Too bad Jake Lamb right there. Also, sure, Jake Lamb, but how about Jake Silseth throwing 2 strikeout innings or shutout innings? Yeah, he looked fantastic. Giving you hope, Jason says, because we won 2 games versus a crappy team. It is, but it's also, it's also a tune-up. Because you also don't want, hindsight being what it is, let's just say we lose 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals and we come home. We're going to be a little depressed and being like, okay, what are they going to do against Texas? What are they going to do against Houston? No faith. Again, it's better to be winning on a 4-game winning streak, which they would be if they take care of business tomorrow with Griffin Canning on the mound against Flaherty. If they're able to win tomorrow and you come home, you've got a tremendous amount of confidence playing a Texas team who is going to be a thorn in your side for most of the season until they fade away. They will fade away. Trust me, I have faith that they will fade away. But for right now, the Angels got to face a Texas team and a Houston team that isn't firing on all cylinders. So it's not like we're walking into this game like David versus Goliath and we don't have much of a chance, or it's a prayer that we're going to get a win. I'm not looking at these teams as super dominant teams. I'm looking at them as good baseball teams, well-rounded baseball teams, but definitely baseball teams that we can go toe-to-toe with. And I think those if you're not coming out to the Big A, you should. And because this series, the 6-game series against Texas and Houston is going to be fun. Those are going to be some highly competitive baseball games, especially if the bullpen can continue to pitch like this. I mean, you still got to throw your pitches. You can walk guys and lose to sucky teams. We've seen this song and dance before with the Angels. So, I mean, the fact that the bullpen's pitching on its – look, Ohtani, let's just say it's weird. He gave up the 4 runs. He had 13 strikeouts. But you could say that wasn't his best performance, in a way. You can say it's one of his best and it's one of his worst, or it's one of his worst this season. But still, he got you the 5 innings and the bullpen gave you the rest. There's nothing more to ask for. And they gave you every opportunity to come back and credit the Angels, credit Lamb, credit Trout, credit Ohtani. Those guys, the big bats came through when they really needed it. That's why this is such an uplifting game. This is why we watch baseball. This is, we don't watch baseball to watch it for the games last year where we lost 2-0, 1-0, and the team looked like shit on offense, but they pitched great. This is why we watch. It was a complete team win. A complete team win. They had you thinking that we were going to run away with it after we went up 3-1. Then it fell behind, and you just sat there stagnant for a little bit, but you were encouraged by the pitching, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, raise your hand if you freaking think that you thought Jake Lamb was going to go deep there. But he did. And then all of a sudden, Trout went deep. Because I probably, if you ask me, who would have hit a home run in the 9th inning more? Right now, the players that they are right now. I'm not talking about their career, but just tell me who you think is going to come through here in the 9th inning. I would not have went for Trout. I would have said it was either going to be Lamb or Ohtani. That's just because of how Trout's been playing. He has a track record of slumping right now and is not clutch. But dude came through, and this is what we want. So again, we could say, call him out for not being clutch, but he could shut us up, shut me up tonight. I can't say a damn thing about him. He came through when we really needed him to, and that's all we've been asking for. So that, to me, plus the bullpen, is so encouraging because if you think about it, Ohtani, we expect this out of Ohtani. We expect greatness out of Ohtani. So we've seen this song and dance. Yes, it's great. I'm not overlooking it. The 13 strikeouts are amazing, but we kind of can see that. But we weren't seeing the trends of what they're doing now, and that's good. And that's why it's good to get, pumped up about this stuff. Let's see. Also, James Malou says, too bad Jake Lamb will be DFA'd soon when Jared Walsh is activated soon. Way to shit on the parade, James. Showing Neto on postgame, hope it's not broken. He'll be fine. It's a finger contusion. Not many teams have a Lamb, Goat, and Unicorn. Hey, good point, Lakers fan. Let's see. Rake Lamb. I like that one, Alex. James says Silseth is looking good so far. Captain Clutch Vetter says bullpen was good tonight. Trouter here says great win tonight. Sapphire says Angels lead in errors in the whole league so far this season, plus blown saves. Lakers fan also says Ohtani will be the ugliest 5 innings, 13 strikeouts I've ever seen, right? It's so weird. Bring up Cabbage or Stefanik if Neto goes down. Let's see. Javier says the Cardinals are what we what they have. The Cardinals are what we were in the last past years. We are up winning and end up losing in the late innings. That's true. I've seen a lot of that, really. It's a good point, Javier. 13 strikeouts, 5 innings, only 2 outs weren't strikeouts. That's crazy, XNC. Vetter says 3 players. Wow, Todd is on that Matt Theis pack. Oh, dude, it's just so many guys to pick from, man. So many. Man, Ohtani's been giving up quite a lot of home runs recently. Sterling says, now that was a clutch moment. Sure was. Tommy Chin says, giving out 3 Stamos awards. You think Randy is a wizard? I'm going to have to take care of that one myself tonight, Tommy. Gallegos looked good before that one on paper. Maybe our pitching staff can help him out, LOL. Let's see. Miki says, Ohtani was nasty today. He hung a couple sliders to the Cardinals, didn't miss. Sometimes you need to give credit to the batter. That's true. Todd, if the Angels get 2 series wins against the Rangers and Astros, will you wear a thong? No. I need a lot more before I wear a thong. Let's see. Randy says, I'm a wizard, Tommy. Just watch the graphics going forward. Let's see. Show with 13 strikeouts, but raised his ERA and got the no decision. Also, credit Trout. Todd must have gotten some or gotten some feet today. Rally Chris says, Sam Blum just tweeted, Phil Nevin said it's a contusion and a laceration for Neto. He probably be off tomorrow, but confirmed nothing broken. Woohoo championship, Johnny B. Goods right there. You know, and the thing is, with that kind of hit, it was probably a hit on his finger that probably broke the nail. And breaking a nail, if you've ever had one, is annoying as a freaking paper cut. Annoying as a paper cut, because when it cracks, I don't know if you guys have ever broken a nail, torn a nail off. That shit hurts, and it hurts for quite some time. So it's going to be one of those where, you know, he might have to sit for a couple games. You just never know. But the thing with the Angels though tonight, getting a huge victory like that, again, is a total team effort. They're going to be, you know, playing Texas and Houston, which, again, are no give-me's, but they're not a scary type of, you know, of team anymore. They're not a team where you look at them and you're like, damn, we can't match up with them or anything else like that. They're a team that both teams are. Houston's a team that we can probably go toe-to-toe with. I feel pretty good when we went against, Toronto and teams like that. The Yankees, we played pretty good, even though they weren't at their best. I still think we could go toe-to-toe with these guys. So what we got going forward here against I want to see who get against Texas. We're going to throw Tyler Anderson in the first one. Now I'm a little worried about that game because Dane Dunning's going to go. Dane Dunning usually pitches pretty good. He's 2-0 against he's 2-0 this year. And pretty much all the pitchers in the Rangers pitching staff, even DeGrom before he went out and got hurt, he had a winning record. So Nathan Eovaldi will go on Saturday against Reed Detmers, and Reed Detmers needs to really, really have a good start in that one because he needs to bounce back. He's gotten a couple tough luck losses, got some errors behind him. And then Suarez will pitch the finale on Sunday. He will be opposed by the Texas pitcher Martin Perez, who's 4-1, by far the best Texas Rangers pitcher right now. So not an easy assignment per se for the Angels coming up here at home. And then you throw it over to the Houston series. The first two games we have already assigned, and that is Patrick Sandoval. I believe will go on the Monday. He will go and be opposed by, I just had it right here, by Hunter Brown. I think that's his first name, or let me get it. Yeah, it's Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown will go in there. He's got a ERA so far of 0.89. He's 2-0 in 20 innings pitched. He's allowed only 15 hits, only 2 runs in those 20 innings. So that might be potentially a low scoring game. Then you got Shohei Ohtani fresh off the no decision today. Should have been 5-0, but it is what it is. He will be going against a familiar Framber, because I can never say his name, Framber Valdez. That dude is, so far this year, he is in 7 games started. He's 2-4, and he's got a 5.52 ERA. Not a really good ERA so far coming out. Remember, he finished the year really strong. Actually, no way, I'm wrong on the ERA. He's got 2.60. Sorry. 2.60 ERA. He's 2-4 this year, 45 innings pitched. He's only allowed 18 runs. So, again, we got some tough matches coming up. That Suarez and Anderson start, boy, are those going to be big against Texas. And then we'll see. I'm pretty confident with our starters moving forward. But Griffin Canning goes tomorrow right there. Let's see. Vetter says, Todd, with that, the Rally Monkey love in the description. Yeah, you know what? Rally Monkey power? You know, even does it work on the road? Does it even still work? Do you guys think and gals think out there that it's freaking real? Because I don't think it's a thing anymore. They really don't sell them. Fernando's brought it up. They only have like really one spot in Angel Stadium plus the team store where they sell the Rally Monkeys anymore. It's still like, a Disney thing. So they're trying to get away from that as much as possible. I mean, it was real weird not to see it on opening night, but it seems like they bring it out some nights really heavy with the Rally Monkey stuff, and then some nights you don't even see it. So it's weird, but I don't buy the Rally Monkey. I'm on. We've had the question on the day before, and I'm like for something else, dude. Like I want to see something else. Let's see. Also, let's see. Sean says we could finish in first place this week. Yeah, if we do have a couple of good games here, we could take advantage of Texas right away and jump into first place by the end of the weekend. You never know. And I think Texas has got one more game. Let me see before we get to them. No, Texas is off. No, wait, are they off? Wait, where are we here? Let's see. Thursday. Yeah, I think Texas is off tomorrow, and then they got the Friday game. So their travel day is tomorrow. So we could pick up a half game and be only a game out by the time we play them. And then if we take 2 out of 3, we're either tied or we're in first place. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Let's see. Also, let's see. Get to a couple of these questions right here. Let's see. Great Renifo is coming back, so I sent some sarcasm right there from Randy. He's not too happy about that. Hey, all, no call from me covering my Cal State Fullerton Titans. Oh my gosh, I think the entire page is in mourning right now. Grillmaster, just saying, the entire page right now with that you just said right now is just at a collective. They're at a collective.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yeah, I think that's how it is right now. Everyone's just like that, and then it's giving us all. Randy says, oh, no, Grill, you say that like we care. Steve Lee says, we are losing Sunday. Ooh, because she does not like the Suarez. Brewers about to lose a series to the Rockies, losing 6-0 in the bottom of the 8th. Brandon Drury for the Golden Foot Award. Framer, why is that difficult? Also, Steve Lee says, we all know you're not good with names. Yeah, look, Frame Burr, I don't know. It's the name, I could never get it right. Let's see, Drury is back. And that's the thing. Drury, every time Drury can do something for the team is a freaking positive. The fact now that he's got 6 home runs is a freaking positive. You know what I mean? Like that's what you want. I mean, you're now getting guys, what we talked about in preseason when we did our roundtable. And we talked about it. We said there's a potential that if Walsh can get back at some point this season and he maybe hits about, if let's just say he gets in here around mid-May and let's say he plays the rest of the season, he gets back to 2021 Walsh, close to it. He could finish the season with about 20, 22 home runs, maybe about 60, 65 RBIs and a nice little average of 270, maybe something like that. We would take that. You think about Brandon Drury could finish the year with 25 home runs or more. You think that a guy like Rendon is going to hit, well, I'm going to X him out. So you got 2 guys there with 20 home runs. You know Trout's going to get his. You know Ohtani's going to get his. It's now going to come down to what Ward and maybe Rendon do, but then Hunter Renfroe, he's going to get his too. He's got 7 right there. So you can potentially have 5 guys in a lineup hit about 20 or more home runs. That's a pretty devastating lineup, considering you got guys that could spray the ball all over the field like Neto, Urshela, and Ward. And when you get maybe Theis in there, if he's not too high before a game, he could do something. There's players on this team, and put Lamb in there. I'm not going to count Phillips because putting the hat on of somebody on the field doesn't really count. But you see what I'm saying? Like it's a potential for a good offense. It's a potential for an offense that can keep steady. Now, again, there has to be one thing that happens for that to happen. Stay healthy. And that's what this team has had a hard time doing in the last few years. So I think right now, if the Angels stay healthy, I think the Angels will be in a better spot moving forward. I think that they can be a squad to be messed with. And hopefully stay in this thing till the end of the season and try to make a wild card, because making the wild card would go a long way for this team moving forward. And it's a little early to talk about, like I said, taking one game at a time, but you could see the blueprint if it works. The bullpen, you got to be optimistic day by day. As long as they keep doing this, they're not going to keep this shutout streak going forever. I know they're probably going to get touched up a bit against Texas, and they're going to get touched up a little bit about, with Houston, but as long as they can keep the team in the game, that's all we care about, right? Vetter also says, I was at the Big A last night for the Long Beach State game at the stadium with no one in there, and it was nice. The sound of metal bats, so nice. It was in there as well. It's probably ringing through the decks, sounding really nice right there. Matt checks in, says, we going on a 10-game winning streak. Now, if they go on a 10-game winning streak, I think you know what's going on there. IE Native says, hope Neto's finger is okay. I can't Can't I handle the thought of Renifo playing more than he already does? Keeve says, go Beach, LOL. Vetter says, the way we are playing, what do you think that we will be in the standings during the tailgate? And go UCLA, no one but Roger Lodge. Yeah, Roger's like, the Angels had a great comeback. And James, will you play those home run calls? But in the meantime, let's talk UCLA basketball. We want to talk about if this team's going to make the Sweet 16 next year, because at Pauley Pavilion and Bill Walton, one sexy redhead, we're going to talk about UCLA basketball in the middle of baseball season. And if you can't get enough of that, we're going to talk about the war in Russia and Ukraine. And then we're also going to touch in on the WNBA. Who's your Sparks Lady of the Year? I know mine is Lisa Leslie. Even though she doesn't play no more, that's one tall woman right there. One tall big woman that could dunk just like all the other dunkers in the WNBA, all 0 of them. So that's basically what Lodge is going to be talking about, but it's all a crap show. But anyway, getting back to it, if this team is anywhere close to competing July 1st, or if they're like hanging around, like now that there's you again, I don't know when you guys or gals think about when is a good time to actually put your stamp of approval on your team, or say, hey, I know what this team's going to be now. I think mine is at the end of May, early June. If you can get through those first 2 months and you're playing consistent ball and you're above 500, I got a good barometer on what you're going to be. You might be a playoff team, you might be a fringe team, you might have a playoff run in you. Or you might say, hey, man, this team ain't going to make it. They're going to fade. They're this. They look weak. And you could kind of get a better assessment there. It's hard to just say, hey, you know what? April is April. And you could think, hey, man, April is a good barometer to get a good feeling on how this team is. But in all actuality, I need to see more ball. And right now, do you really think Pittsburgh Pirates fans are getting their playoff tickets, their money ready for the playoffs? No, they got to wait. It's going to take some time for them to believe in this team. So if we got to see how the Angels are, because again, last year, like Dan says, they need to be a minimum of 10 games over 500 minimum for him to put a solid faith. He's a longtime Angels fan. He's seen a lot of baseball. I totally get that take, and that's a good one. Because, like last year, again, we were 10 games over, and then they collapsed. So it's really hard to freaking put 100% faith into set Angels team. But I think we can agree on one thing, though. If Houston continues to struggle, although they're the world champs, although they have Dusty Baker, you're getting a lot of guys who aren't really having good years, or you're having guys who are still hurt, or really not, something seems off about Houston. But I still think they're going to win that division. But what if it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility if Houston starts to maybe have a bad season? And what if Seattle wasn't what we thought they were, meaning I thought they were second place or bust, or maybe we had to fight with them. What if they are fourth place? What if they're a team that got lucky yesterday, should have been no-hit and took a loss, and yet still got the win in a no-hitter that they were getting no-hit by Oakland, and they still won? What if somehow they stay at fourth place? What if we battle Texas, and Texas is our chief rival to get into the wild card, because we have to watch not only them, we have to watch the East Coast with the AL East, where every team's over 500. So it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, what if we were wrong? Wouldn't it be a pleasant surprise if the Angels actually put this thing together? If it actually worked the way that they planned it, and it looked like shit on paper or shit in the first couple weeks of April? I would love that pleasant surprise. I would love to be sitting there with a chance to say, you know what, I got to put a little money away. It's the start of September. I might need to buy some playoff tickets. That's what we all want. That's what we all want. That's what we need as fans, especially for a team dying for this team to get back into the postseason. There's nothing more that I would like to do than get back into the postseason. And in a perfect world, although it won't happen because the NL West always lets us down, but if in a perfect world the Dodgers were to collapse and the Angels were to make the playoffs, give them a big fuck you to their face when we make the postseason. Even though they've done it for like a decade prior, just 1 year to where we're going to say, fuck you, where are you at in the freaking playoffs? You know what I mean? That's what we want to do. But for right now, one game at a time. I'm thinking way ahead. But one game at a time right now. Hopefully the Angels can keep up the momentum because, again, as fans, we can all agree on one thing. We just want to see winning baseball. However, we got to get it. However it comes to us. However, we got to steal it from the other opponent. I just want to see winning baseball. I just want to see games that mean something in the heart of August, in the heart of September, and have an opportunity to freaking buy some postseason tickets instead of joke about it. Because it's been the running joke in September of, hey, got my playoff tickets ready. But Vetter's saying, Todd with that Halo honk logic. That's what I'm trying right now. I'm trying to bring it back. It's been gone for so long, and the only one keeping it alive is Roger Lodge. So what that there's only 22 games left in the season, but the Angels are only 21 and a half games out, which means Houston would have to lose every one of its games. Every one of its games, and the Angels would have to go on a 22-0 run, which I can see happening because, A, Lodge's lock is a sweep of the Brewers. He said that the other day. Lodge's lock is a sweep of the Brewers. Last Friday he said that, and then he said, we're going to go on a 10-game winning streak. Never gets old with that guy. Never gets old. Great 2 days. Angels come back, win, and the Lakers. No, I don't agree with you, Rally Chris. No. That is Rally Chris. That deserves first off.
How dare you?
And
No, you don't like that color. I don't like that color. Not a very good color.
First off, I can give two shits about the Lakers. I hate LeBron. I hate LeBron. I hate LeBron. I hate LeBron. I can't tell you how much I hate LeBron. So I really want them to lose. And I don't like the Warriors either. I'm not a basketball fan like I used to be, but I don't like the Warriors. I'm tired of when one team just wins over and over and over. It gets boring for whatever sport it's. I don't care what sport it is. It's not a good thing for sports if one team is continually winning. But I would love for them to tear the Lakers a new butthole. And I'm shocked because I don't watch the games. How the hell they lost the first game to LeBum, I don't know. But I hate the Lakers. Let's see, his favorite WNBA player is John Stamos, better says. Hayes says, Hoppy is out. If Neto was out for the season, I would just give up on the 2023 season. I wouldn't, man. I mean, they still got players, bro. They still got players. Little Wen says, the Silseth edition has been tremendous. And the old days, they started you in the bullpen first, even Nolan Ryan and Sandy Koufax, and it was Corbin Burns or Chuck Finley's development. That is true. Chuck Finley, and I forgot about that last night. That came up 86. He was on in the bullpen. So you're right. You're absolutely right. But it's just a shock, though, bro. Nowadays, you know what I mean. You brought up good points. Those are super valid points. Those pitchers did have to work through the minor or through the bullpen first. But when do they do that now? So that's why I'm kind of tripping on the whole Silseth experiment. But it's working. It's working. Lakers fan says, yeah, I need to see how they play the Rangers and Astros coming up to give an assessment. Dan says, if you remember in 2002, while the A's won 20 straight games, the Angels went 18-2. I think there's a possibility. Why not? How about 17-3? Have faith. No, I'm not. Look, Dan, like I'm a Halo honk in disguise. But I'm also a realist, and I've also been jaded by some poor play, poor management, poor ownership over the last few years to be a little bit jaded. So I apologize in advance. But I just love the fact that, or I hope that the Angels can go on a run like that. I know it's 2002, but that's a totally different team. That was a well-managed team. That was a team that was just nobody saw coming. So we'll see. Would love to see those $60 playoff tickets again that Artie gives out, LOL. Astros did lose again. We covered that earlier, Hayes. Also, Todd with the Halo Hunk logic. Lakers fan says Angels make the playoffs. Ohtani resigns. Artie will sell to get the profit that he wants. Infinite One says 714 tickets for postseason tickets. Hell yeah. Those $60 tickets will go down to like 55 or 50. So there you go. Also, Steve Lee says, how dare you?
How dare you?
Todd, what's your team better in basketball? I used to root for the Sonics, man. I ain't gonna. When the Sonics went, dude, and Stern screwed me. I watched the NBA for a couple more years, and I just got disgusted. I hate Oklahoma City more than LeBron. That's the only thing I hate more. Let's see. Also, Boo Todd talking about my Lakers. You'll be wrong about the Lakers beating the Warriors. Ooh, I want to bet you so much, Rally Chris. I want to bet you so much. L take from Chris. Also, I'm going on Friday. Who's pitching? Nick House wants to know. Let's see who's pitching again. Who did I say was pitching again? Hold on, let me bring that up right now. On Friday for the Angels, it is going to be Tyler Anderson is going up against. I just had it. Tyler Anderson's going up against Dane Dunning, that tall dude. He's 2-0 with the glasses, and let's see. He so far this year has an ERA of 1.77, 20 innings pitched, 5 runs only allowed, and he's not allowed a home run yet. So there you go. Hopefully the Angels can change that when we go head to head with them. But that's the pitcher that usually, if you know Texas pitching, Dane Dunning usually does pretty good against us. Unfortunately, he does. And hopefully the Angels can change that, like I said. But it's going to be a tall order. That dude is a tall pitcher. Also, Todd is making his debut. I wish. Let's see. Tommy Chin says, if Neto is out, Walsh should be back at first. Urshela should be at shortstop. We got depth on this team, baby. Yes, we do. I love baseball, though. Vetter says, Nick, Todd is making his debut on Friday. Jeez, I agree with your 2002 comment. Do your research, Hayes says. Kroomskar says, light that baby up. Missed the game tonight, but not missing the best post-game show in the biz. That is right. My boy right there, Kroomskar, says Sonics will be back really soon. Also, Rams had a great draft. Whose house? Let me just say this, Lakers fan, and look, I get it. I get it. It's a new stadium. You're trying to establish your identity here in L.A., but if you have to ask whose house it is, like pretty much every drive, every first down, every touchdown, it's not really your house. You should know whose house it is. You should be screaming, it's Rams' house, not having to ask the question. It's a terrible look. The Niners take that place over like it's their own stadium. The Raiders do the same thing, whether the Rams play there, whether the Chargers play there. It's just when the Seahawks went, when I went, it was 70% Seahawk fans. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's going to take a long time. Not even a bubble Super Bowl will bring the fans back. It's going to take a lot more for the Rams to reestablish themselves. And unfortunately, they're going to be a crap fourth-place team. Maybe a third-place team, maybe. So we'll see. But it's going to be the Seahawks and Niners division this year. That's what it's going to come down to. Cardinals suck, by the way. Just saying. Let's see. Yikes, don't like our odds. Infinite One says, did Papa Fox say anything about the game today? You know, he left right before the Jake Lamb home run, the Mike Lamb home run, so he didn't see it. But he was convinced. He's like, you see, that's why I don't want to go to any games yet. Because we took him to a lot of games last year, and man, his frustration level was at an all-time high. So it's going to take a lot for me to get my dad to get to a game. He hasn't gone to one this year, which is weird. I usually take him to opening day. I usually get him to a couple games really early in April, and he hasn't gone to one. It's not because he's a bad fan. He's just been pissed off. He's just like, I can't take it when these pitchers can't, because I think the older he gets, the more he thinks these guys are going to be more on point. So he's turning 80 this year, and he wants these guys to not walk anybody. He wants Trout to hit a home run every time, and it's just not going to happen. So I have to explain to him, like, hey, man, Trout's just slumping right now. He's not clutch, but hopefully he can get it going, and when he gets it going, good things will happen. And he's seen enough baseball, or he's forgotten about enough baseball than I know baseball. He's like one of those baseball minds. Before he became an Angel fan in '61 when they came in the league, let's just put it to you this way. He rooted for them when they were at Wrigley Field as a Pacific Coast League team, and his major league team, because the Angels weren't a major league team at the time, because he hated the Dodgers even back then. He hated Brooklyn, and he hated them when they came to L.A. He really hated them when they came to L.A. So that's where I get my hatred for the Dodgers from. But back in the day, my dad rooted for the Milwaukee Braves. So his favorite player was he had two favorite players, Warren Spahn and Hank Aaron. He loved those guys. So he was a big-time Milwaukee Braves fan back in the day. And so his baseball knowledge is off the hook. That guy can talk baseball all day. It's just, the thing is now as he gets older, he wants to freaking just, basically talk shit and be like, how come these guys aren't playing like All-Stars? I'm like, because we don't have a full All-Star roster, Dad. Some nights you're going to have it, some nights you're not. Sometimes the secondary players are gonna hold the team, hold the fort. Some nights the power hitters, Ohtani and freaking Trout, are going to be the guys. But it's hilarious, man. I love his takes, but I'm trying to drag him to a game this weekend. So I don't think we're going to take him Friday because we'll be there Friday. I'm trying to drag him there on Saturday. At least get him out there for the Saturday game. But even he's like, well, I got to see how they play against Texas and Houston because those are two teams that usually play as tough. And he's trying to break it down. So it's like, well, I can only just ask. So believe me, I would love to have him out there. Let's see. Also, you see, yikes. I don't like. Oh, let's see. Hayes says you didn't read 3 of my comments. Oof, my bad, dude. Maybe because it didn't show up on here. It says I love baseball though. I did read your comments, unless they're not all popping up because I'm not getting the flow like I usually do. Let's see. Also, Steve Lee says it's the Niners' house. It sure is. Meaning the Rams' house. Kroomskar says last season SoFi was the Seahawks' house twice. It was. Vetter says go Niners. Vetter also says is Papa Fox going to the July 1st? Yes, that I will drag him to. That he has to go to. And after 20 years, we got our team back. Yeah, you did, Dan. But I'm just going to say in St. Louis, you had much more fanfare there. The team was falling in love right there. I think you had LA fans are so fickle, man. I think if the Angels were to leave for 20 years and come back, you watch the same thing. It would be the same thing. It would be really hard for the Angels to get their fan base back. Because here's the thing, Dan, I think the Rams did not, until they had those last years of Georgia Frontiere, they were decent in the 80s. They were with John Robinson. They had good teams. They rivaled the 49ers. It's just the 49ers were in that division with Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Roger Craig. You had all kinds of superstars, Ronnie Lott, Hall of Famers, all up and down those rosters, man. And so the Rams did their best, but they played in a division with the Falcons with Deion Sanders, with freaking the Saints who were semi-decent. So it was a tough division back then. And the Rams did their best, but you had a shitty owner. You had the Artie Moreno, but she was Georgia Frontiere, and she blew that franchise up, and she moved them away. She was a poor man's Al Davis. She wasn't an Al Davis. At least Al Davis could bolster the whole Super Bowls and stuff. But the Rams had a hardcore fan base, man. And I think a lot of those fans that were there just decided to either give up on football or they chose other teams. So when I was growing up in junior high and high school, the Rams and Raiders were already gone. So it's like we were all, I already had picked my team because I went up to Seattle when the Rams were here on their last leg. So it's like a lot of fans just started migrating to whatever team was hot. You had a lot of Eagle fans, a lot of Patriots fans, obviously in the last 2 decades, a lot of Steelers fans. So when you come back to a melting pot of people, that would have happened if the Angels left. 20 years later, you're just going to find all these other, new fans of different teams. You're going to be like, no, put your fandom away and root for us because we're LA. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. You're going to get some fans like that, which I knew a couple, which pissed me off. I known them for like Vikings fans, Falcons fans, Patriots fans. The moment the Rams touched ground here, they got rid of those jerseys and put Rams jerseys on. I'm like, wow, dude, no, you're too old to be bandwagoning like that. But that's the Rams fan base now. And it's really proven you don't have the hardcore Rams fans unlike yourself and the old timers. So now it takes a lot of time for a fan base to get readjusted. You got AFC East fans here. You got fans of every NFL team here. So it's hard for the Rams and the Chargers, who were stupid to leave San Diego. So the fact that they're up here too trying to steal fans, it's like, dude, really, you're not going to get the real fans. You might get the Johnny-come-latelys. The best thing for the Chargers and Rams to do, literally, the best thing you can do, go to schools, elementary schools in particular, and junior highs, and just peddle your stuff to them. Free backpacks, free jerseys, free shirts, free merch, whatever you can to win those fans over. Hell, even free tickets to the nosebleeds. Get families there for the first time, and maybe, just maybe, you can win over a fan base. That's what I would do, because what they're doing right now is not good enough. So also, let's see, Papa Fox, Trout, and a hit since oh yeah, that's my dad's. Steve Elise brings it up. My dad goes, Trout, and it hasn't gotten a hit since he's been married. It's just the same. I don't know what it is, all that sex. And I'm like, well, usually when you get married, the sex goes away, so that doesn't make sense. Vetter says, all my family is Dodgers and Lakers fans, so I've always hated it. Yeah, it's true. You'll have a family that's just all freaking fandoms of that stuff. See, why can't you have that kind of sense yourself? Randy says. Dan says, yeah, you skipped mine again. I'm only reading the ones I see. I'm so sorry if I'm missing comments. They're just not coming as fast as they are for whatever reason. I'm really sorry. I'm only getting the ones I see in front of me. Hayes says, SoFi Stadium is any team's home. Dan says he skipped my post. Aside, I did not see it. Rewrite it, dude. I'm telling you, I'm only getting the ones. I don't know why. Hold on, let me see. Live chat, all messages. Let's see. Maybe there's a little bit here more. I don't know. I'm trying to see. Yeah, now I'm seeing it, dude. Now I'm seeing. Okay, it was on live chat right here. There's a lot of missing right here. Okay. Now I see some of them missing right here. My bad. Let's see. See some of them. All right. Hayes says, I could honestly give two fucks about the Dodgers making the postseason. As long as the Mariners and Astros are out, I'll be content. Angels make the playoffs. Ohtani recently. I already saw that one. There's a few others. I'm sorry I missed those. There's all sports we run. Geometry, ToddFox. It's all entertainment rigged, equivalent to WWF, WWE. Okay, but he says, I love baseball. Let's see. Maybe that's why I'm missing some of these. Cause I had it said top chat, and it's supposed to be just on live chat showing everything. So that's probably why I missed a lot of those. So I apologize. See, Johnny Be Good says we need to dump the dumbass Nike Millennial Rams jerseys and go back to the old school. I would love to see the white and blue, just old 1960s or 70s Rams. Was it Jack Youngblood ones? Those are freaking sick. I really like those. I will admit. Let's see. Also, let's see. I got that one. SoFi Lakers fan says Georgia was an itch with a capital B. She sure was. Georgia sabotaged this team so she could move the team. She was like that bitch owner from Major League. Dude, I almost think that movie was made after because of her, but I think she was after that movie, if I'm not mistaken. Vetter says, is there going to be another softball game? I missed it last year, but this year I'll probably finally make it. We tried to get one in this year, but we had so much crap going on, so it's likely going to be next season after the baseball season, probably in the off season, maybe around February, maybe. Daniel Jacobson says, I was a Rams fan, then became a Dolphins fan after they left to St. Louis. Well, see, there you go. You have to jump on a team and you get upset. So poor man's Al Davis. Wasn't she worth more as far as net worth? Todd talking about it. See, there's Randy taking shots again. What I meant was a poor man's is not meaning financial. First off, get that straight. Second, I meant she's a poor man's Al Davis is fact that she moved the team, had the team, and she didn't put the money into it. She talked a big game, but she wasn't like Al Davis, where at least Al Davis kept the Raiders genuinely, I would say, competitive, mostly through the 80s, early 80s especially, late 80s, yeah. But early 90s, not so much. They fell on hard times, and basically the freaking Rams or the Raiders moved. But Al Davis was always about winning. He won championships. So that's why I say championships versus not winning championships. So that's where poor man's Georgia Frontier comes in, Randy. Not the financial part. I never said that. So once again, misinterpreting what I say always. Let's see. Lakers fan says, my dad was a season ticket holder when the Rams were in Anaheim. Then he went to the Seahawks too. He's been back those since 2016. Well, that's cool. I mean, you gotta be loyal, and I respect that. Georgia killed Carol Rosenblum, who was a great owner for the Rams. He would have never left SoCal. Exactly. I mean, that's unfortunate that the Rams did leave, because again, that left you in SoCal without being able to see a football game unless you went to San Diego or San Francisco. And again, let's just face it, it took until San Francisco got that nice stadium up there. Candlestick was a dump, but it was historic. San Diego was not historic, and it was a dump. So you didn't want to really go to the Rams stadium. Let's see. Chargers should have moved into a stadium built for the San Diego OC border. Lots of OC fans. Be fun to have a stadium in two counties. Yeah, that was a great. See, Dan, that would have been the best way to go. I think the Vegas thing was overrated. But I think in the long run, had they went to what you're talking about, because it's not like there's a lot of areas to build a stadium out there. Had the Rams come up to maybe Riverside or something like that, or maybe, let's see, Irvine, something like that, I mean, you would have had a tremendous fan base from the OC, like you said, and then San Diego fans would be upset at first, but they'd still be able to claim that San Diego on it. I think everyone would win. But that didn't happen. It's all Todd Fox. We're going to love you, fam. Oh, thank you so much, Hayes. Kroom says, can we rent one of the Field of Dreams field in Chino for a softball game? Is it that one? Damn it. Off the, what freeway is that? Shit. Is it that one that links from the 60 to the 91? If it's that one freeway, I've seen those. I think it's a Field of Dreams. They have different stadiums. They have the Wrigley fake stadium, the Fenway, the Green Monster. That'd be dope. There's one though. It's my dream field to get. The 71. There you go, Infinite One. I really, really would like to get one in Santa Fe Springs. There's a field off of. We would play day games there. And it has a perfect fence. It's like literally 315 with an 8-foot fence going all the way around, surrounded by pine trees. It's off of Florence and Pioneer. So it's like Santa Fe Springs, Norwalk, but it's got an 8-foot fence going all the way around, 315 to left, 365 to center, 315 to right. Beautiful. We rented it for the day, but it's different for night. And I would love to have a night softball game or night baseball game, because we don't have to throw overhand like 100-mile-per-hour pitching, obviously, but just to lob the ball over the plate to someone and see how hard they could hit it, or hit it to the gaps or something like that. I think we could play something like that. I mean, we don't have to particularly go with softball, but it could be fun. And I would love to get out there and play some ball with everybody, because that's what it's all about. We can have some fun all together. Let's see. Also, Chicks love the long ball. Al Davis loved the deep ball. He sure did. Todd and Randy are like a married couple. Oh, please, God, no. Rewriting how has Manfred and the MLB owners not interview with the whole Moreno and FBI investigation and make him sell the team when McCourt's issues was way less compared to this. Now, good point, Johnny. Good point, but there's something to that. Nobody cares down here. Literally, the media is not strong enough like it was in Los Angeles to push the narrative. The media literally pushed McCourt out, and McCourt still got his stranglehold on that parking lot. And they made it a nasty thing because it was, A, sexy, because it was a divorce and his other issues to force him out. Although he rigged with some politicians, did some really funny things, and Artie did some other stuff and was held accountable along with his organization. It's like, well, it's not sexy enough to go after Artie. Plus, let's just put it the way it is. He's a minority. We want to keep the minority in as an owner, and that's how they look at it. It's sad to say. I don't like it, but they don't look at him as, well, Artie Moreno is an owner, is a bad owner. They look at, well, first we love the fact he was the first, publicly owned, solid owner of a baseball team or of our franchise. We want that in our guys. We don't want to look like the good old boy network, a bunch of white guys owning a bunch of teams. So they look at that as in, hey, he's good for baseball. But he's really not. But what are they going to do? So their hands are kind of tied. They don't want to look bad. So instead of, they'll sweep things against the rug, and then on top of it, our media is half the size, or I'd say 75% less of what the Dodger coverage is. So, yeah, they're able to get away with more things, and it is what it is. I mean, even the Skaggs crap, that wasn't a huge story. I mean, you got played up that the guy went to jail and everything like that, but imagine if that happened to the Dodgers, one of the Dodger players dying. That would have been massive. But, again, I think he gets off the hook because of who he is, where he's at. And it's a shame, but some people are just not going to be freaking held accountable. Dan says, Al Davis blackmailed two cities, Oakland and L.A. What an asshole. He ruined once nice stadium and suckered stupid people in L.A. to be a fan and moved them back to Oakland and those idiots. And twice removed himself from there. Yep. Are still fans dummies? Yes. 71 near the 57 and 60. Yes, Kroom, that is a nice play right there. The comeback kids, Mateo says. For tonight, Field of Dreams, Dan Rio says. Vetter says, they make the Angel Stadium there, if not the mistaken. I haven't played there in years. Or they have made the Angel Stadium over there. Okay, Randy says, okay, but how do you use the term poor man's in an instant? Maybe learn analogies before using them. Well, again, you can use poor man's because it doesn't necessarily, I mean, are we doing proper pronouns here? I mean, are we getting into that? Does that really matter? I mean, again, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Let's see. Yeah, we have a goat and a unicorn. Give us the damn Field of Dreams game. Lakers says, oh, so we got to pull up with that. Maybe we'll look into that. And by the way, the last time we had that softball game, we had to purchase insurance. Would you believe that for the city of Anaheim? That was crazy. That was not cheap, if I don't remember. Let's see. That was definitely a great win for the boys tonight. Martin says it was nice to see the big guys going yard at the right time. Exactly. Mateo says the 1-1 to Trout, and it's hit high and deep into right. Wait, let's see. Into the night, way back and gone. Solo shot. Trout gives the Angels a 5-4 lead in the ninth. Mateo, what you need to do, because you write out your calls here, you need to freaking get on, what's it called? You need to get on Audacity or whatever program you got. Record yourself doing a call and send it to me, and then we'll put some music behind it or some play, and we'll try to match it up with the actual hit, and we'll get a real call out of you, my man. Let's see. I don't marry people who can't even understand what clutch means. Well, look yourself in the mirror, buddy. Vetter says, damn, Randy, I smell a divorce. Well, he had to put a ring on it, and I don't think he can afford me. Steve Lee says, hey, Randy, I'll give you my ring, and you can marry him. Ha, ha, ha. There you go. Let's see. Vetter says also, my dad's boss is the brother-in-law of the dude who gave Skaggs the drugs. Oh, boy, that's not good. That's not good. So that's not good. You might want to disassociate yourself with that side of the family. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. If you guys want to call in, the number to call in is 714-598-3221. 714-598-3221. On a night where the Angels get a big, big win tonight. Johnny B. Good says, I heard, let's see, Kroenke was in the mix to buy the Angels. Imagine the scenario if he had the Rams games here. Oh, man, I can only dream the return of the watermelon heads. Dude, that would be sick. Again, if we had an owner that, like, look what he did with the Colorado Avalanche. I didn't even know he bought the Avalanche, and the freaking Avalanche were his team and his baby, and they won the Stanley Cup. So, man, kudos to him. Let's see. Also, hope all is well with Neto. He earned the leadoff spot. He sure did. The Cardinals deserve the Buttercup. Well, let's give them the Buttercup instead of us, so it's a good call.
Why do you build me up, Buttercup, baby, just to let me down, mess me around, and the worst of all.
Enough of that. Kroom's Car says July 1st is the barbecue under the Big A. Yes, sir, it is, and we're going to try to do it up real good right there. You might actually might try to get some of your Kroom's dogs right there. He's a caterer. I still think he's a caterer, right, Kroom? So he's got some really good homemade sausages and meats that he makes up. The food that he grills is top notch. So I'm hoping that I don't get
Emotional damage.
if he does not help us out with that barbecue, because if I can get him just to help out on the grill, I would be very, very happy, because he's one. He kicks ass on the grill. Let's just say that Jason kicks ass on the grill. The Navy veteran is a one of a kind with his preparations and his barbecues. And so again, if he's able to get out there on July 1st and help us out with the barbecue and do his thing, I'm telling you, you guys are in for a treat, because the food will be popping. It's already gonna be popping, but if Jason goes, it'll be like an extra man. It'll just be like, it will be great. So yeah, well, I'll get with you on that one, my man. Yeah, he says, home of the famous carne asada dogs. Let's talk details soon, and go Navy. There you go. Let's see. Also, Marty says, when does Ohtani pitch again, Todd? Hopefully at home to break Babe Ruth's two-way player strikeout record. He does. He will be pitching against Houston. So look forward to that. And that might be a Tuesday or a Wednesday game. I think it's a Tuesday game, maybe Wednesday. I went over it earlier, but yeah, he has a really good chance of getting some strikeouts there and helping the Angels get to a huge victory, because that would be big. That would be huge if the Angels can get that series against Houston or Texas, because then we're going to hear a lot of Roger.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and John Stamos.
So that's what we're hoping for, man, because right now the motivation I've got to tell these guys before they play Texas and Houston is,
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
so I can picture Nevin being that upset and actually scaring the shit out of the players to where they want to freaking perform. So there you go. Let's see. Also, let's hope that Quijada is doing all right, especially now that he needs Tommy John. Oh, boy. His contract status, I don't exactly know what it is. I'd have to look that up. He might have a couple years of control. He might not. And if he doesn't, that is adios, senor. I mean, we won't see him maybe ever in an Angels uniform again, which sucks because he does have a lot of potential. But you can pretty much erase this season for him, and you can erase next season for him, and we're likely not going to see him in any kind of baseball uniform till 2025. So that's a big blow to anybody. Anybody that goes through Tommy John, especially in baseball, that really sucks. I mean, you saw it with, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in his non-throwing shoulder, maybe it was Ohtani that had that, or he had the UCLA. No, he had the sprain in his right. I think he might have had Tommy John on his left. I'm not sure, but he had some surgery on his left. But still, it's a long-standing injury for a pitcher. So let's see. The games are going to be massive, Marty says. Vetter says, I was in New Jersey, neurotic for 4 years. Best years of my life. I might join the Navy after I finish college. Oh, the New Jersey ROTC. My bad. I'm saying neurotic. I'm thinking of that dude on YouTube, Neurotic. Mateo says, oh, Tiny. And then Dan says, you need to do it from Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah, that would be a good one. Do it, Chancellor Palpatine. Let's see. Robert says, Navy, need any Vaseline yet? Army strong. Ooh, those fighting words. Robert and Jason. So the Army-Navy game goes deep right there. Johnny says, you think he would open to sell the team again at the end of the season, especially if we lose Ohtani? Bro, Johnny, I would have to say this. There's really nothing that gives you any kind of indication what he's going to do. I mean, he's such a wild card as an owner. He's such a wild card because, again, if you would have asked me, I would say in December, if the Angels are going to be sold, November. I think it was November. It was prior to when he was saying, whatever. And I was literally telling my friends, like, man, I can't wait. It's going to come down to 3 or 4 guys. They're going to pump a lot of money into this team. This team's going to be sold, and the first business of any owner, whether it was the owner of the LA Times, whether it was the owner of the Golden State Warriors, whether it was the group of guys that was trying to be put together by Epstein, it would have been the first order of business to get Ohtani. And we would have had that problem solved like that. And then you would have seen an owner want to come in here with a splash and make things better for the fans and offer goodwill for at least the first 2 years, especially the first year. The promotions would have been 100 times better. You would have had fans being, welcomed in. It just would have been a different feel. It would have been a different feel to this year. But when it came down to it and Artie stayed, it was a and when he took when he was offered $3 billion, $500 million more than what the team was worth, and he still balked at it and said, no, I have unfinished business to do? Really? I thought you were burnt out. I thought you were tired of everyone smearing your name in the mud. Now he's just like, it's a revenge tour. That's why I told Fernando, I'm like, dude, they're raising the prices on food on purpose. Artie's giving us a big FU right away. Ticket prices going up, parking prices going up, food's going up, drinks are going up. It's $8 for a souvenir cup. What the hell? It's going to be $10 pretty soon. So it's getting more expensive, yet you haven't done nothing to the stadium. Just look up on the Raptors. Look up on the Raptors, and if you're by that where Jim sits in left field and you're like on the handicap area, look up on the Raptors in the upper deck and everything else like that. Look how it's rusted. You may have painted the big A. That shit's rusting on the inside. The concrete's like cracking all over the place. That stadium's getting old. Remember, this is the second oldest stadium in the American League, only to Fenway. That's saying something. So a remodel, freaking, at least is due sometime soon. And, again, a new owner would have came in here. I mean, look at what Cohen's thinking about in New York. I just saw an article the other day. He's thinking of already a really nice stadium in Citi Field getting a roof. He thinks that there's too many rainouts and that it would be wise to have a retractable roof. He can do it. You can do it. And you know what? If he does it, kudos to him, man. That's an owner that's progressive, takes that shit, the bull by the horns, and says, I'm doing it. Not our guy. Nope, not our guy. But if we had an owner, just imagine the changes that would come to this franchise. I'm telling you, it would be nothing but positive. I mean, we'd have to grade the guy out in 5 or 6 years. But I know one thing, the first 2 years, he's pumping a hell of a lot more money into that payroll, and probably wisely, because he wants to win. You don't want, I mean, look what Kroenke did here with the Rams. You don't want to come here and fall on your ass. You got to win the market. And the Angels are in a different market, yet they claim Los Angeles. Who knows? Maybe even the new owner would have came in and said, no, this LA bullshit's got to stop. We're Anaheim. Or we're Southern California. Or we're California. I know for a fact one of these owners would have just been like, that Los Angeles thing is bullshit. And he would have stopped it right away. But you never know. We'll never know. We'll never know. That's the problem. How do you guys feel about trying to pursue Gary Sanchez? I liked it in the offseason, but I kind of don't want to visit it now. Let's see. Also, Fernando says, just got done with the game tonight. Super hyped, though the Trout came through. Me too. Let's see. Sith, not nerds. Oh, my bad. Also, already selling the team is a coin flip. It's a heads or tails if he doesn't. Vetter says, no, Todd, Naval Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, not New Jersey. Sorry, my bad. That's I'm not doing good tonight. I'm not.
I'm so wasted.
Yeah, I think it has something like that. Let's see, all-time series, Navy leads 62-54-7, so he's throwing a little dirt in your eye there, Rob. Dan says, you need a Star Wars one tomorrow. It's May the 4th tomorrow. May the 4th be with you. Oh, God. If I had $1 for every time I've heard that by my nerdy friends. Also, Vetter says it's like junior Navy high school. That's cool. Todd, dress up like Chewbacca tomorrow. That's terrible, Chewbacca. Vetter says at the tailgate, we need to make themselves team signs. It's the Halo Hotline.
Hey,
what's
going on? Croom Dog.
What's going on, Jason?
Oh, nothing much, brother. Yeah, we'll get this grill going. Home of the famous carne asada dogs. We'll talk details on that. And are you doing group seats that day?
That is the big thing that I will find out tomorrow, because I talked with her, Alejandro, who's taking care of us over there at 714 Tickets, and it looks like we're going to have anywhere from 150 to 200 tickets as a group. So we're going to be looking to get those out on some very discounted prices for everybody.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, let me know on that. And just to let the Rams fans and the Chokers, the San Diego Chokers fans know, hey, the Lambs and the Chokers, that the Seahawks are their daddy, and that's Lumen Field. That's Lumen Field South. For those that don't know, all right.
That is true. That is true. I mean, the Hawks fly together down there. That's for sure.
Yeah, our fans travel well. Now, speaking of Halos, here's my theory on that. I've talked to a few people. I'm holding reservations until after the All-Star break.
Okay.
I believe I'm telling you, July 1st. I'm not like you said, realist. We're talking. You and me are on the same page about being a realist.
Mm-hmm.
So, I believe I'm in the same boat there. July 1st, I'll go. That'll be probably where I'll have, better expectations. And, honestly, when the Angels are playing well, that place is nuts. That place, when they swept Oakland in 14 to really close out the division, and Houston Street was actually doing Houston Street things, that place was shaking, man, literally shaking.
Oh,
and now if it shakes like that, the whole place might fall apart.
Yeah, we might have to sign a waiver before we get our tickets or whatever, man. Like, God dang.
So what do you think? When is your deadline? To curb when you stop curbing your expectations and start feeling like this team is real?
I think it has to be before All-Star break. I need to see, if like I said, at the end of May, I kind of got a good feel for them. But leading into the All-Star break, the Angels do either one of two things. They're usually always falling behind big time, and then they make a run, and then the All-Star break kills their momentum. I'm hoping that they're already in a good spot and they're trending up, and then they have to take a break. I want to see them finish strong, but in a good spot. And if they're strong and in a good spot, like let's just say Houston's 3 games up and we're 3 games up on Texas or Seattle, and so we're sitting nicely in second place. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. I'm with you on that. I might be a little after, but I think a little bit before the All-Star break makes sense. And the other thing with me is, Artie needs to stop dicking around with this Ohtani thing. He thinks he's gonna go and if they're out of wait and see. But fucking wait and see. Everybody's chomping at a bit for this guy. I honestly think you keep him in Anaheim. Stop fucking dicking around with them. You got 2 players in one basically, and he's not two mediocre players in one. And okay, he had an off night tonight. An off night where he gives up 2 home runs, 4 runs, but an off night where he strikes out 13 fucking batters.
Yeah,
that's an off night. That's an off night.
Yeah.
And then he'll still rake with the bat on the he picks himself up. How do you not sign the unicorn? How do you not sign this dude? Okay, what are you gonna do? You're gonna rely on trading him? You better get a gosh damn Herschel Walker deal for this guy. You better get like players, solid players, but you better get draft picks, and then still hope these other players pan out and your draft picks pan out. And with Angels development, it's starting to look a little bit better, but it's still sketchy, man. I mean, that's why the Angels are 29th in the league, because they're still lingering from the Epler. Regan's, I think all his players are pretty much gone, but the Epler and the Jedi Master, Dipoto, of their garbage draft picks, when they fucking had me. I was so embarrassed when they celebrated Taylor Ward as their first round draft pick, and they're in the newsroom and they were going nuts, high-fiving each other. And then the MLB analysts were like, they could have probably got him in the second or third round. They kind of reached up here. I'm sitting there. They were clowning on that was the Poto, right? That drafted him.
Yeah.
I think it was the Poto. They were clowning that whole, because they picked up the phone. They were sitting there, put their pick in, and they were just high-fiving each other like it was like he was the next best thing since Mike Trout. Like, they stole him ahead of everybody. And they said if they would have waited, they probably would have got him in the second or third round. I was like, dude, I'm turning this TV off because all of a sudden I'm gonna start getting phone calls from my Dodger fans that clowning on that. And I was like, fuck.
They've missed on a bunch of guys, unfortunately. And Ward's turned into a nice player now, but as much as he's turned the corner, the jury's still out on him. He's still got to put together like 2-3 good years in a row before we say, okay, he finally developed. But defensively, he's come through. He's a lot farther than we thought. But yeah, at the time, I mean, man, he was a project, dude. And Epler made a lot of those moves, and unfortunately, it hurt the franchise. But I think the way we're moving now, it might be too little, too late, or maybe like Perry's done a lot. I mean, I think we're overlooked a lot as far as power rankings in the minors because we do have a strong Salt Lake team, a strong, team in what do you call it, Arkansas.
Trash Pandas.
Yeah, the Trash Pandas are a really good team. But I do believe that some, like the biggest mistake they made was Artie coming back. And them not, Artie should have – the goodwill for Artie should have been not letting Ohtani get to freaking spring training without being signed. He should have just backed up the truck and just said, here, take it all. You're the man. Yeah. You're our franchise moving forward along with Trout. You're an angel for life. And to me, the chances of him with Artie at the helm and re-signing in the offseason, I mean, the worst thing we could do is, A, stay in contention to where we can't trade him, and then, B, let him go to free agency outright. I mean, that's the worst thing you could do, and that's what's going to happen.
Let him walk.
Yep. And if he walks, dude, he ain't coming back.
That's it. And the Angels also, with their minor league system, man, what they did is they screwed up a lot of their players by, like, changing their positions, tinkering with them a lot. Theis, started off as a catcher, and then they started moving him around. There's a few guys that I can't remember who of recent, but they're changing them from like catcher to outfield or infield to outfield, and they keep on trying to screw up these guys and change their positions, and and if they were good, like Theis was a good college hitter, I get it. College is one thing, majors is another, but they keep on screwing around with these guys, and if they're starting to learn a position, it may take the focus off their bat, and you never know. I mean, but now Theis he's back as a catcher, but look at they DFA'd him a little too late, and I know he's there still on our roster. I guess nobody wanted him, but I mean, the only thing you could hope for is that our new system that we draft well, we continue to draft well. These guys like Bachman, Turner, Overdrive, and Ben Joyce can pan out. Along with their Dominican team, I'm telling you, if you need a guy that can do minor league reports next season, give me a yell, because I can give you the scoop on some of these players, man. Like Quiro's a stud.
Well, let's
the guy
maybe you can give us the Around the Minors show, dude. Maybe that's something we have to do, and if that's the case, man, I'd love to have you part of it.
Yeah, we'll talk details. We'll start with July 1st first, and we'll handle that. I'm going to get off the phone before I start getting razzed by our fellow Halo family, our fellow Hitty family, Well,
the good thing is I'm looking at the comments and there's no Z's or there's no boring or stuff like that, because that's usually what you get when you have a bad call. So, but this is a good call, Jason, and I appreciate it, man.
Hey, I just try to bring the acumen, man. That's what the Angels organization needs. Is smart baseball acumen. Hopefully we start seeing that with Perry, the fruits of his labor.
There you go. We appreciate it, my man.
Have a good night, man.
You too. All right, that's Jason Kroom right there with the Navy takes and everything. We appreciate that. Let's see. Also, Mateo says the reason why Epler has been a good GM. Oh, there goes another phone call. It's the Halo Honk line.
That was a good game. Very good game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue it. Go ahead.
First time, I'm not shouting in agony. I'm shouting in joy. Very good game.
Yes, I mean, it looked a little bad there from about the fourth inning onward, but or third inning onward, they put up zeros. But I'm telling you, man, that ninth inning was kind of magical. I mean, that was a good throwback, and it was great to see those clutch hits at the end.
That's what we need. That's what the Angels really need, man. Like clutch hits, especially from Mike Nelson Trout. That's what we need from him, bro.
Yes, that's what we've been screaming for all season, bro. All season.
Yeah, I'm so happy that he got that go-ahead home run.
Yep.
Really happy for him.
Yep,
and Shohei got that. Shohei and Rendon got that add-on RBI.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean that was. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, dude, I really like the fact that Ohtani picked himself up. You know, like they were saying, like usually, like in the games he has to pitch, he's batting something like 380 or something like that, and then he's hitting like 352 with runners in scoring position. So like the guy rakes when he pitches, and you would think that in a game where you're pitching and you throw that many pitches, you might be tired and worn out by the end of the game. But nope, Ohtani looked fresh as a gazelle. That's why he's a unicorn. And it's like Jason said in his last call, and like I said earlier, it's like, damn, you throw 13 strikeouts and you only go 5 innings, and people are like, well, it wasn't your best start. But it's true. It wasn't his best start. I mean, he gave up 4 runs. But, dude, he gave you every opportunity to come back. He looked dominant when he was out there. It's crazy. It was a weird night. Man.
Yeah, it was a rough game for Shohei. 4 runs, which is like usually bad. He gives about, when he's on a roll, he gives up about 0 to 1 run, maybe 2 on occasion, but 4 runs, which is pretty bad for standard. But he struck out 13 people, man, which is very good.
That was
5
awesome.
innings. If he was able to go to 9 innings with like 250 pitches, he'll probably break the strikeout record for a single game.
Well, he's the type of dude that, like, let's just say he pitched in the 70s, early 80s. I mean, again, Nolan Ryan, for all those that don't know, I mean, his career is amazing. I don't think any pitcher will touch his stats when they're, you know, Roger Clemens kind of like flirted a little bit with some of his stuff. But Nolan Ryan, I mean, he once threw over 200 pitches in a game. You know, you'll never see that again. But if you wanted to put a pitcher in a different decade and let him throw his game, I think with the long hair and sideburns of the 70s, Shohei would have thrown 200 pitches or more and probably had 20 some odd strikeouts.
Yeah, I think Shohei could last that long because, yeah, I think he's a unicorn. Let's just say that.
Yeah, one of the best players I've ever seen, no doubt.
Nolan Ryan, he's a hardcore person. Like, he throws heaters, he hits people and strikes people out. But he fucking walks a lot of people.
Yeah.
But overall, good game. I just want to, I know it's early, but I want to tell you one stat I found. So, we're 10th overall in hits. We're, and let's see, last year we were dead last in strikeouts. So we had the most strikeouts in the league. Now we have the 12. We're 12th in strikeouts, which is like top 12. So it's pretty good. We're pretty okay. We're above 50%, which is what we're asking for. So
that's a big jump. That's a huge jump. I know. Like you said, it's early, but still, that's a huge jump. I mean, this team was god awful last year, so I'm glad that they've made that improvement. And that's something that I know the Angels were really focused in on, was different plate approaches, better at bats, and less strikeouts. Those were like their 3 main focuses, and looks like they've gotten the most out of. You know, they've had some nights where they've sucked, but I'd rather have those few and far between the good nights, and they seem to have had a lot better nights out there on the hitting the ball. And I think the free agents have helped too, like Renfroe, getting Neto up here as a youngster. And those guys just, Hoppy when he was here, they were born to make contact, and those guys are making contact.
I think Neto's fine. It's not a broken finger, but it's just like something. I don't know. I forgot how to pronounce it, but it's day to day. So
yeah, it's a contusion. So it's like a pretty bad bruise, and probably they said it was a cut. So I'm assuming that broke the nail since it was on the finger. So it probably, made his finger bleed and very painful. You know when you stub your finger or you jam it or you get a pretty good cut on it. You can't really move it all that much. So it's more of an uncomfortable thing. I don't think it's anything too bad.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, Griffin Canning, I think, is tomorrow, right?
Yep, Canning and Flaherty tomorrow.
Okay, so if he gives us like 6 or 5 innings, maybe 7 with 2-run ball, I think we could win it tomorrow.
I think so. And again, like the Cardinals, if you look at their lineup, it's just basically Contreras, Arenado, and Goldschmidt, and a bunch of guys. And that one dude took us deep. I forgot his name, but he had the 2-run homer. Other than that, I mean, that was his first home run of the year. They really don't have too much power or guys that scare you on that team.
Yeah. I thought Ohtani would like go more deep because when you first Ohtani, no one has faced Ohtani on the Cardinals lineup. It was like their first time ever seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought like Ohtani like mix things up, throw sinkers, throw fastballs, throw sweepers. I like to call the sweepers slurves because it looks like a slurve, but people call them sweepers. But the reason that Ohtani got hit around because he threw too much sweepers, man. Need to stop like throwing sweepers up too many, man.
Well, you notice when he was landing the breaking pitches though, and he would go to that 102-mile-per-hour fastball, it was lights out. That's where all his strikeouts were coming from. Is when he had the batters guessing something off speed, and he just blew him by with a fastball.
Really? He threw 102 today? I didn't see it.
Yeah, he got 102, I think twice. So
I thought he only threw like 100.
Nice. He could range it up to 102. That's his max.
Yeah, I think that was really. I didn't see 102, but I did see 100 though.
Yeah, he can get it up there, dude. I mean, when he wants to throw, I thought the most impressive inning was when they had the runner at third and nobody out, and he strikes out the side. I thought that was great.
Wait, he threw it like today, or did he not? Did he throw it today?
Yeah, he threw it today.
100. Oh, really? Wow, I didn't see it, but I'll look at it later.
Yeah,
but that's cool, man. Ohtani. I hope Ohtani becomes more consistent, but I'm not worried about Ohtani's like giving up runs because he's like not too good in May and April. I think you remember he gave up like 6 runs in Texas. He gave up like.
But this year, bro, this year's different. He's got that mindset of I've got to be good every night. So you're gonna see him pitch with extra motivation for that paycheck. Whether we think he was in it for the money or not, he's pitching for that contract, and he's gonna do everything possible to have a good night every night. So I although this wasn't his, you could say AKA best because the 4 runs, I think we're going to see more and more outstanding performances as we go along, and it would be a shame if he doesn't win the Cy Young this year. And if he gets anywhere close to the numbers he did last year, he should win the MVP. They shouldn't give it to a one-trick pony like Judge, because I don't think you can give it to anybody else. The guy is just a phenom.
I don't think no one's going to win MVP besides Ohtani. I think Ohtani's going to win this year, but yeah, I think Ohtani's fastball velocity is going to uptick. Maybe he might throw more 102 miles per hour. I only seen him throw in WBC. I have to check if he actually threw 102 today, because I like velocity, except for like hitting. I don't think in terms of hitting, velocity is like kind of useless because I hate the hit. You can like swoop a single 30 miles per hour. It could be a hit. Ichiro did that. Ichiro hit a lot of swoop singles. That's how he got the 3,000.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was a slap the ball hitter. He wasn't trying to do stuff that he's not capable of doing. But that's why I liked him. He took whatever the pitcher gave him and he used it to his advantage. That was probably. I mean, there's great hitters in baseball, and I think Ichiro should be up there with Tony Gwynn. Should be up there with Pete Rose. Just a phenomenal, smart baseball player. Great baseball player.
Yeah.
But hey, thanks for the call, Supra.
Yeah, I just want to mention one more thing.
Uh-huh.
So in June and July should be his best pitching. My headphones just died, but
performances.
It should be his best. years. Yeah. See you later, bro.
All right, bro. You have a good night. That's super right there. Good call right there. Get back to a few more of these comments right there. Yeah, I messed up, Fernando. Arkansas Travelers, they are from Alabama, Vetter, too, as well. I messed up on that one. Also, you guys are kind of stoked about the minor league show, possibly. And that would be cool because it could be like on the farm thing. And let me tell you guys something real quick before I get out of here. This song right here, I was talking to Steve Lease about this. When I would go as a kid and I heard this song come on, I knew I was late to my seat and I would freak out and panic. But this song always gets me, and even when they play some of it, you know, they play it now in Angel games more this year than I've heard it in recent years. But this song just has something to do with the Angels that just it gets me chills just thinking about it, because it's like the beginning of the game, and usually they would play it for like, hey, let's give you the scouting report on the visiting Toronto Blue Jays or the Oakland A's. You would hear this song. Something about that song, dude. And right now I could just picture the stats going on the Jumbotron, talking about the hot players from that team and, you know, who to look out for, and then their lineups, you know, giving you like the who's going to be in the lineup for that particular team. And then it would get to the Angels intro. And that sucker would give me like the biggest chills. The reason why I bring it up, we were talking about it the other day, and it's like, I would love to do something like that for this page and have it to where, because it's hard to do the lineup cards, because when we try to beat the other pages to, you know, posting the lineup cards and stuff like that. But imagine if we could do something where we could have like a flashing, you know, in the background with a Green Onion song on, playing that, and you could get the breakdown of both, you know, starting lineups. Dude, talk about, we would need someone on hand for like to be right at their computer when the what is it called, the announcement was made that, oh, this is the lineup or whatever. But that's like one of the things I would love to do, because again, that song gives me chill. I love it, even when it was in Sandlot, dude, and it was that part of that famous clip right there where homeboy goes,
"You play ball like a girl."
Yeah, it's so great. So great. Lake Elsinore Storm games are great. When I lived there, and I would go to all of them all the time. James Woods, who was there, and the Soto deal, Vetter says. Trout, May 13, 66ers bobblehead, I think. Let's see. Groom's been to a lot of Salt Lake games. Vetter, one of my dreams is to go to every Angels minor league affiliate game of the week. That would be cool. Also, Mateo says, can we have a Roger Lodge talk about a comeback and win UCLA basketball? Now my throat's killing me. Trotter here says, the Sandlot, hell yeah. Miss 710 KMPC for Halo games on the radio. Dude, that was way back in the day. I miss when the ESPN had them when they were owned by Disney, and you would hear like the ESPN music in the background, and then you know, the advertisements to go to Disneyland and stuff like that. It was cool, man. Now that I look back at it, it's so funny because you got used to a certain ownership. As we wrap up the show, sorry I went late. But basically, you look at the ownership before with the Cowboy, and you're like, man, Gene Autry years were great. And then you got used to some of the stuff that you know, that you love growing up and listening to or just experiencing. And then when Disney took it over, I think all of his fans were like, are they going to kill this team? Are they going to make this team bad? Or is it going to be a laughing stock? Blah, 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 blah. And then when it wasn't and it turned into something good, now you look back at the Disney years after the Artie years and you're like, man, I'm fond of that Disney team. I'm fond of how it was back in the day. I wish it would go back to that because they just seemed to be better run back then. Vetter says, damn, Todd, I love these long shows. They are the best. I appreciate that. Fernando says, James, play that Trout homer again. Roger, James passed. James, stop joking like that. James is still here. Play that damn clip. That's how it's going to be. I got to get a home run call and just put it on here and then just be like, James, you know, because when he would say that, and I think there's a YouTube video of him saying James like that. It's prior to his passing, unfortunately. Again, you know, no disrespect to James, the producer, to the Stars. He was on a longtime partner of Roger and everything else like that. But yeah, that would be James' go-to right there. He would be or Roger's go-to. So he was always doing that because some people will get mad if I take that out of context. But you know, it's all in good fun, right?
How dare you?
Look, I'm trying. I'm not trying to give anybody any
emotional damage.
So yeah, there you go. Let's see. Mateo says, I still don't get why fans still boo the Astros. It's old now. Get over it. I don't think Angels will get over it till we win a division. Number one, Mateo. Number two, the Dodgers won't get over it, even though they won a World Series. It was a bubble World Series, and nobody gives them credit. They're still listed on what was that? It was not Sports Illustrated. It was another article that's really big on baseball, and they said the Dodgers haven't won in almost 40 years. So they don't count that one. So if they don't count it, that what it is Dodger fans, they want a parade. They never got a parade. So I always make fun of Dodger fans like, well, did you win if you won a championship, usually teams that win championships have parades. You guys didn't have one, so you must not have won one. So COVID or not, you didn't have one, and you weren't really immortalized. You know what I mean? So it's a nice, cute little bubble title, just like LeBum got. Cute little bubble title, but nobody takes those seriously. Any honest fan will tell you that. So the Dodgers' beef with the Astros is not over. They have to win a World Series to then shut up the Astros. But the Astros beat them to it. The Astros won last year, and I don't think as much as you hate the Astros as an Angel fan, as whatever fan of of baseball, and you really don't like the Astros for whatever reason, you can't clown on them. They won the championship straight up. So that's what it is right there. Let's see. Fernando says, Mateo, I have tons of love for you, man, but in all fairness, you're a Warriors fan, so you probably don't like Draymond Green when he gets, or don't understand why Draymond Green gets booed. Again, I'm not James. James isn't here. James played the clip. Also, difference is the Lakers played a full season. Dodgers didn't. Fernando, I booed Draymond too. He argues way too much. It's not the argument, dude. He's trying to be like the new Dennis Rodman. Okay, so when it gets into basketball, it's time to bounce, guys. Appreciate everything. And we really appreciate you guys hanging on here and watching the show, checking out the show. Like and subscribe to our podcast, and also hit a like on this video. We really appreciate it. And, we'll be back tomorrow for the finale of this series and hopefully an Angels sweep. And we'll look ahead into the next series and everything else like that. The trivia is coming up. Try to hear is very soon. So we really appreciate all the and saying what Fernando says. Good night, Halo fam. Enjoy everybody as night tonight. And tomorrow we're going to play to win the game.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Exactly. Love y'all and hope to see you soon with the merchandise and everything else. And again, support 714 Tickets is supporting us. So check it out. Use the promo code. It works back to back to back to back to back to back to back. There is no limit.